Hey guys! So today's going to be a different video than what you usually get from me. Today I'm doing a little bit of SFX stuff with our friend Liquid Latex. So I've already started on this one, but I'm going to show you basically the process that I did to get that one. That one's just drying. So I poured some of the liquid latex into a small bowl. When it dries up, it'll be able to come off easily. It peels. And I'm just using a face spatula theme that I got at Walmart in the cosmetics section over by the face masks. Just to spread it, because using a brush or sponge, it soaks up the product so you can't really use it again. I also have with me a pair of scissors and some paper towel. So I'm going to start on one here on my arm. This one's going to be significantly thinner than the one on my leg. Now, first, what I'm going to do is take my spatula and give the area a nice layer. Now, I'm outside right now because liquid latex is some smelly stuff. Now, I'm trying to get the layer as smooth as possible. Now, it does dry pretty translucent-ish if it's in a thin layer. But if you make it a thick layer, it's going to be quite a bit darker than my skin tone. But while this is semi-drying, I'm going to take my scissors and my little bit of paper towel. Since I'm going to make this cut a bit thinner, I'm going to cut thinner strips. Just a strip, very thin, from the paper towel. Now the paper towel is going to help give me some dimension, and I got this idea from my husband. So, very thankful for that. He's very helpful for these scenes. He does more SFX makeup than I do, but he doesn't have a YouTube channel for that at this time. So with my thin strip of paper towel, I'm gonna cut to about the length on each side that I'm gonna want it. So, 2 small little strips, and take my little bowl with the latex, and I'm gonna dip them in and fish them out because I accidentally poured too much latex. And then I'm gonna lay that how I want it. Lay the first one how you want it. Try to curve it a little bit, or that's my thing. Now this is just a simple at-home way. This is not professional way, and don't touch the drier liquid latex with the wet liquid latex on your fingers. It does not go well. And try to avoid getting this stuff on your gloves. It ends badly. Because this stuff does not wash out. And sometimes it helps to have tweezers to help manipulate it or something. I'm just going to use my handy spatula. Now, see, there we go. There's that. Now I slowly add along latex just to kind of thicken up the edge, make it a little bit more realistic. And if you drip on your arm or whatever, that's no big, because it'll just peel off your skin. And you let that sit and you let it dry. Now, this one, my paper towel ran away. This one's mostly dry. So I'm gonna add another layer around the edges. Now once everything's dry and set up with, thickness and stuff you want, you can cover it up with makeup, which I will be showing in the next clip of this video now that I can actually edit videos. And I try to leave the cut open a little bit so it's visible. And if you're going for something like a zombie film or whatever, it doesn't matter too much if you get a little bit of dirt in there, because that just adds to it, in my opinion. Mosquitoes. So I'll see you in the next clip after all this is dry and I'm ready to add in the makeup. Alright guys, and we're back, and I'm significantly a little bit more injured looking. So first off, this clearly not my skin tone. Clearly not my skin tone. So, I'm going to take a palette here, take a little bit of foundation, plus some of my, which is just, that, and my mixing foundation mixer from NYX, which is the lightest one they have, which is pure freaking white, because I have pale freaking skin, and this is the wrong shade, and when I bought this, they did not have the right shade. They hadn't even made it yet. And I'm just going to use these scissors to mix that up, just because. Bit more of that, just because they're here. Okay, and then wipe that out on what's left of the paper towel. Now I'm just going to use my regular makeup sponge. And sponge that on. Especially focusing around the edges that need to blend in, and not so much on the injured area. And just blend it until it looks somewhat normal. Since I'm doing a black and white film, I'm not worried too much about it being perfect. doing this for a black and white film, but if you are worried about it being perfect, you work to get it the right shade for your skin tone. As hard as it freaking takes. And since I have face injuries, because of course I do, because of the type of thing I'm doing this for, I'm also just adding a light layer of this to my face. And once that's sufficiently blended, you're going to want to take a fluffy brush and a translucent powder, or our usual face powder. Just set that. Because I always feel like liquid foundation leaves me very, sticky. Which, since I'm going to be working outside, is not ideal. So, yeah, you're still going to see it. I missed one of my impressions. Potentially. Now, I'm just taking a Fantasy Makers palette that I've had for a while. If I can get it to open. Because for some reason I don't want to. Babe! It doesn't want to open. Thank you. I know. So this is just a cream palette that I've had. And I'm just taking the dark red color. I'm putting it along where my wound is. Giving it kind of a more aggravated look. And that, I'm going to do that on my other wounds. Bring you closer. And since I'm using cream makeup, I'm using a synthetic brush because I like how it works better. Personal taste. Now, using the same little palette I have, making my brush a little tiny. I'm going in to the black. Giving a tiny bit of the red. And bringing that right in the central location. to darken it up. Now, for what I'm doing this for, this isn't necessarily necessary, especially since I'll be covering it in blood. But just fake blood, not real blood. I'm not that creepy. I mean, I'm creepy at times, but I ain't that creepy to just have real blood lying around waiting for me to use for projects. No. Now, you may have seen me with that up on my forehead. Well, that is what this is for. Just taking some blush, darker than what I normally would use, and a blendy brush. To make it look like a more recent scar. Or that's the idea. My goal is to just make it a different shade than my skin tone because of what I'm using it for. And having it raised. Okay. Now, you have your base areas laid out. Since this is a little old, I'm going to shake it first. And I'm just going to paint my wound with it. Now, I'm kind of painting mine a little outside the lines, but you can still see the darker area. Now, this kind of fake blood kind of dries fairly similar to real blood. At least in my experience. And it kind of gets all brown and dry. And don't worry too much if you get it just on a random part of your body. You can clean that up later. And I like to add drips. But that's just me. Maybe. Just, it also works as a good blendy, thing to help blend in that makeup we added earlier. Now, you don't necessarily want to be wearing clothes that you actually give a shit about when you're messing with this stuff. I mean, it's not as bad as, say, the liquid latex, but if you're wearing light colored clothes, you might stain them. Thankfully, this is just my workout clothes, or my workout shirt. There we go. And there you go. You've got yourself some fake wounds. Now up close they might not still look realistic on me because I'm still learning. So you guys have fun practicing and enjoy yourselves.